Hi friends, welcome and welcome back. It's that Wild Thunder Child with another crochet video. It's going to be kind of chatty in this video, and as you can see, it's pre-recorded. That way, if it doesn't upload, I haven't lost anything. So the first thing I'm going to show are my current whips. Now, if you're new, I am new to crochet. I started crocheting in September of 2023. So at this point, it's been about 4 months since I learned how to crochet using YouTube video tutorials. So some of the whips that I am working on, one is with this really pretty t-shirt yarn. It's called Rose Quartz, and it's kind of a pinkish, and it's got these little white polka dots. And this is my first time working with this particular type of yarn. And so far, this has been the most challenging, like physically challenging material that I have ever crocheted with. So like the very first day that I crocheted with it, my hand muscles were so sore. It took several days before I could crochet again. So this is a very physically challenging experience. And I'm not sure if all t-shirt yarn is like that. I only have experience with this very specific brand of t-shirt yarn, and I got it off of Amazon. So in an upcoming video, you'll actually see what I made with this. And it's kind of stretchy, but once you start crocheting, sometimes the stitches can get kind of tight. And so it was definitely a workout working with this particular yarn, but I was excited to try it. So the next whip that I am working on is this. And I'm actually making something now, which is very interesting, that I always wanted as a child growing up. Like I would see other people with this or wearing this item, and I always kind of secretly wanted it for myself, but I never got it. But now I'm finally making this. So this is my second whip, and basically these are just front posts and double crochet. And this is the Caron Super Soft, and it's kind of sparkly. I've used it in 2 other projects, which you'll see when I talk about some more of the items that I've made with crochet. So this video is actually going to be my hot takes, my crochet hot takes as a newbie. Now, my hot takes, like my opinions on crochet, they are not set in stone. I change my mind all the time, so don't take anything that I'm saying personally. It's not personal. It's just kind of my perception of things as a beginner. I have yet so many things to experience with crochet, but I'm excited to learn along with you all. So yeah. So my first crochet hot take is, no, I don't need therapy because I've learned to crochet. Now, yeah, I am of the belief that life is not a one size fits all. So I don't think that, one, I don't think everybody needs therapy. Number 2, I don't think everybody requires the same form of therapy. I think each of us finding what works as therapy for us is good enough. And I found crochet. So for me, that's good enough. My second hot take as a beginner to crochet is that crochet can feel hyper consumptive for me, even when I'm making stuff that I want and stuff that I'm using, that I know I'm gonna use. I have this little stash of like yarn and projects in a corner in my room, and to me it feels like clutter. I'm just used to having a lot of open, empty space. I like a lot of open, empty space. So the yarn, I have to make room for the yarn because I do enjoy the process, but I don't want to have a huge yarn stash. I don't want to have mounds of crochet things because there's only so much of it I can wear at one time. So like, I love the creating, and I'm enjoying the process, and I'm enjoying learning, but my fear is that having mounds of yarn in my home, and just, yeah. My third hot take is that crochet has more range than knitting. I don't know. I don't even know how to knit. I've only seen a few knitting things, and I feel like crochet has more range at this point. I don't know if that opinion is justified yet or not. I mean, I would like to learn to knit. I haven't yet. So, yeah. Now, and I've heard this. I've heard that the yarn craft community is more friendly than other communities, and my opinion is that no. Everywhere there are human beings, there's going to be drama. And when I wrote this, I had yet to experience, I didn't even know what Ravelry was, but I seen some videos, and there's some drama in the yarn crafting community and the crochet community. So anytime you get people, sometimes you're just gonna have conflicting opinions and ideas and drama. So I don't think that the crochet community is any more friendly or any less friendly than any other community that involves people. My next hot take is age and gender doesn't really matter in the yarn craft community. You know, I don't feel a lot of age or gender bias here, but that's just me. My next hot take is social media has made learning crafts more accessible. Yep, I think it has. Hoorah, social media. My next hot take is actually a question. Is crochet the new fast fashion? Time will tell. Okay, my next hot take is joining the crochet community has required me to learn a new language. And I know you're like, what? We're speaking English over here, but the terminology is what I had to figure out. So for instance, in the crochet community, you've got whips, frogs, and whips are like your work in progress. Frogging is when you're unraveling something to either redo it or make something new with the yarn. And when I joined the natural hair community, I had to learn that language too, like TWA, WNG. And if you're natural, you know what those things mean. But again, for crochet, I learned a new language. I learned new terms, and I'm still learning new terms. For instance, there's one term like the granny square. And I'm like, granny square? And I saw what it was, and I'm like, okay, when I make one of those, I'm calling mine an intergalactic super square, because I like, you know, cartoons and anime and stuff. And I mean, sure, granny, you can call it granny if you want to. Mine are going to be intergalactic super squares. When I decide to make one, I have yet to make one, so we'll see. Oh, my next hot take is I noticed that a lot of the crochet channels that I've seen, they find one thing that they make that they like, and I don't know, it just seems like they're constantly making that same thing. Like if they make beanie hats, it seems like in most of the videos, they're just making more beanie hats in a different color with a different yarn, but it's still a beanie hat. Same thing with bralettes. I've seen ones where they make bralettes in a jillion different ways with different beads and different, you know, but it's still a bralette, but you go through the videos and basically it's all bralettes. So I don't know. I mean, maybe they're making other things, they're just not posting on social media about it, but it does seem like a lot of the crocheters that I've seen kind of stick to making that one thing that they like to make. And my last hot take is also a question. And that is, what is the point of yarn festivals or fiber fests? I have not been to one. And again, it's more of a question. I'm not sure what the purpose, and I know you guys are like, well, but they sell things, but there's online stores that sell crochet items too. So yeah, so that's my last hot take. I want to know, what are your hot takes? How long have you been crocheting? Do you have any hot takes or opinions? I would love to know what they are, and let's talk about it in the comments. Thanks for watching. Bye.